Hello, everybody. I have been going through my journals. Actually, I have journals that are in notebooks of all different sizes. And I'm in the process now of putting them all into one format, which would be the loose leaf paper, college ruled. It's that paper we can buy 500 sheets for like 88 cents at Walmart or $1 at other places. It fits into the those three ring binders, but it also I find that it's also easier to scan those types of things to save it, unless you actually type it out. So anyways, I like scanning it anyways, even if I don't type it out. It just like still makes it easier to go back to what I've written in the past, and I do that occasionally. And I did that this time, a piece that I wrote a couple years ago, and it's amazing that what a couple years brings. Um, yeah, it's amazing that a couple years bring how. Anyways, I'm rambling. I'm just gonna go to this. I'll talk about some other stuff after this. So this was written September 17th, 2014. I voted. That statement doesn't mean what it used to. There was a time when people were proud of actually voting. They used to get dressed up and talk with other voters. Voting used to be a social event back when the word social meant something else. Back at a time past where every community was a front porch community. Some wonder what happened to the community, to that type of community. But they also don't realize that it changed with their vote. Now, excuse me, a front porch community, as I mentioned, is like when I grew up kind of like in the country slash suburb slash city. It's like actually it was mostly country. It was mostly country, but it was in the suburbs of Manchester, and we all had front porches that spanned either in the front or two sides. Some porches even went around the whole building, around the whole house. And what those front porch was, it was for neighbors to come and talk with each other. I knew society was in trouble when people started closing these off to make these porches either offices or patios, three-season patios. Even though technically a front porch is 4 seasons. Because, yeah, you can still gather in the wintertime. And we did. um, Especially if the porch has like a little roof. Gee, I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, when people started closing off the those front porches, I knew that the community was in trouble, or community in general was in trouble. We need to get back to that, and I do think we are getting back to that from a certain point of view, because I go to Market Basket in Manchester, one of the ones, and in there they have a little cafe in the front of the store. And what people do, the cafe, there's TVs there, a couple nice, huge flat panel TVs. They got free Wi-Fi. People usually go into the grocery store and buy food and go and have either breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or snack, or break. Because sometimes the employees would take their breaks and lunches there too. But people would gather in there and just talk, so I see that type of environment as like the front porch community trying to come back. And I also see that a change in politics too because of this current year. What a difference a couple years makes. Even though it was a long time in coming. And, 2016 is a number 9 year. Number 9 is the keynote is ending in service. And the ending is kind of like based on a karmic type ending. And the old ways of doing politics are ending. So I do think that hope is in the air. And I do think Donald Trump is going to be president, even though you can't really tell in this particular climate now. But I still hope. A lot of people like him, and of course, the progressives can't really talk about policy because their policy is bigger government. And bigger government's never the key. It's never the key. Change doesn't happen with a big government, big national government. Change happens in the local communities. That's where real change happens. The national government, keep it to like small things, like having it have a less footprint in our lives. Because everything the national government touches, whatever national government it is, anything the national government touches, it screws up. So leave things to the local communities, and kind of lead from the bottom up. And that way we'll come up with a new type of community. A community that the founding fathers understood when they created the Constitution of the United States, because the Constitution of the United States isn't just it's our founding principles, but the principles are based where people can grow in their fullest. So remember that when you do the vote. Don't vote for socialism or progressive, Democrat progressive stuff, because it's just big government, and all they want is control and just to continue to mess things up. Anyways, those are my thoughts. Leave comments down below if you like this video. Share it, hit the like button, share it on Twitter. I'm on Twitter, Podcast Bard. Thank you for listening, and may the force be with you all. Thank you.